Hi, this is Joe again with another movie review, and this time we'll be doing the Die Hard movie series. I figured to do that series because the first two were based during Christmas time. And what could be, better than that? Even though there were summer blockbusters, the movies were supposed to be based on Christmas time. So of course the first movie came out 25 years ago. We're still in 2013. So the movie came out in 1988, starring of course Bruce Willis in the most iconic film role other than The Sixth Sense. And it stars as a police officer, John McClane, who goes to LA to visit his estranged wife. Because they separated because his wife was played by Bedelia, who is the aunt of Macaulay Culkin. She got promoted in her job. Working for this Japanese company, business company, and they, instead of promoting her in her home city in New York, they transferred her to LA. And Rose Wilson's character wasn't told that she picked this job. So she goes out to visit her, and while he's there in the office building, they're having a Christmas party. A group of terrorists takes over, led by Alan Rickman, who plays Hans Gruber. And the reason why they want to take over the building is because they wanted to get into the vault. Because the building has this sophisticated computerized vault to get, I think, about $340 million in German bearer bonds. And so they take over the building. They take all the people who was in this party as hostages, and to get these bearer bonds. And John McClane just happened to be run the tagline for the film in the wrong place at the wrong time, and he tries to stop him, pretty much barehanded as one guy against bunch of terrorists. And of course he starts counting them off. There's those big fight scenes with these guys. He goes after them almost one by one, or sometimes two at a time. Until, of course, there's about two of them left. And of course, which was one of them was the Hans Gruber character, and one of the other guys. And of course, he says his famous line, "Yippy Ki, motherfucker." This is tagline. He says that line in every one of these movies. And of course, guess who wins? He wins at the end of the film, and it had to be one of the great action films. Now, originally, I did not see this film originally when it came out, but by word of mouth and the rave reviews that Bruce Willis got for playing this character. I know there was a review that Cisco and Ebert did of Die Hard, which is on, I think maybe it still be on YouTube, I don't know. Criticizing this movie because you have cops and FBI agents in the film who did the exact opposite of what normal police officers would do, or normal FBI agents would do. But as an action film, they had great action scenes, and of course they did. And you might recognize some other actors. You have Paul Gleason, who's from the Breakfast Club movie. You have Reginald VelJohnson, who was also in the first Crocodile Dundee film. Plus, he was, of course, plays the father in Family Matters. And this is before this movie was before Family Matters, so around the same time Family Matters started. And of course, you also had Robert Darby, who played one of the villains in the James Bond movie. I think License to Kill, the second Timothy Dalton film, and also was in the Goonies. So you have some familiar faces in this, in the first film. Plus, you also had William Atherton, who was in the first Ghostbusters film, and he was also in this movie as a reporter. You always think an atypical jerk, but as a movie, I thought it was a great action film. Of course, over the years, especially after the second movie, which we're going to do in a second, there are so many movies that spoof this film in terms of, you know, making a cemetery movie with one guy against a group of terrorists. You did that again and again and again in other films. Now, of course, after the success of the first movie, and 2 years later, in 1990, in the summer of 1990, you had Die Hard 2, Die Harder. Now, of course, in the first movie, you had John McClane, of course, again playing Bruce Willis, in an office building, or confined to an office building. This time, in this movie, it's in an airport, specifically Dulles Airport in Washington, D.C. Now, it was not filmed in Dulles Airport, Washington, D.C. It does use the name. I think it was originally filmed like in Denver. In Denver Airport, I think. Or an empty lot in Denver, and they filmed it over there so they can get the snow element in it. Now, of course, again, you had this time you have Bunny Bedelia. Again, there's a couple of characters who played the role. You have Bunny Bedelia, who, of course, once again played his wife, John McClane's wife. Then you had William Atherton. Somehow they stuck him back in this film, and as another passenger on his wife's plane. And also, you also had for one sequence, you had Reginald Vell Johnson again playing Sergeant Al Powell, of course the Family Matters guy in this movie. Those three characters were the only ones other than Bruce Willis from the first film were back in this one. Basically, this one is a group of former Army commandos led by William Sadler took over this airport in Washington, D.C. so they could free and capture, or free and hide this South American dictator who was in a drug smuggling business, a drug dealing business, and he was played by the guy's name right. He was played by Franco Nero, and the guy who led the commandos was William Sadler. You also had James Amos in this film as the commanding officer of this anti-terrorist army unit. And of course, you find out in the film, spoiler, they were actually working with William Sadler's character. They were in cahoots with him, and of course, all worked together to get this guy out, and Franco Nero's character out. And of course, John McClane notices this, and he, one man army again, one guy, one place, one time, and to stop this thing. And also, you have Dennis France, it's the police chief, the police captain of the airport police. And of course, nowadays, some of the stuff you have in this movie, you can't get away with now because of what happened in 9/11. Particularly, there was an old lady, it's one of his wife's, John McClane's wife's plane, got on the plane with a stun gun. Of course, nowadays, you can't bring a stun gun on an airplane. Well, at that time it did. And of course, you have terrorists taking over the airport, which of course is not realistic anymore because of 9/11. But as a follow-up for the first Die Hard film, I thought it was a great follow-up. Even though my friends, the Cinephiles, about a year and a half ago, did a video on this, on the Die Hard series. And at first they didn't really like the second movie, but eventually they're going to like it. At first, especially one guy, Edward Summerson, says it was annoying because he always goes, "Oh, we have to ask the terrorists again, John. Oh, God, can't believe it's happening again." He thought that part was kind of annoying. But at first, but then of course, the more you watch it, the more that that's bothered. It didn't bother me when I saw it. I thought it was kind of humorous and said, "Oh God, here we go again. Here we go again. They have to fight a bunch of terrorists again." But this time, the action sequences were more bloody, more vicious, and the action was better. I think the most dramatic scene was when they tried to hook up with the ILM system so that the airport tower can communicate with the airplanes. So they seconded this whole antenna array. And of course, this guy Barnes, who knows how to do it, he's trained to do it, and the terrorists and the commandos knew they were going to go for it. So they killed all the SWAT guys because they used a SWAT team to protect this Barnes character, who was a very good character. I don't know who his name was, the actor's name. He played the part, but I thought it was pretty good. And so Bruce Willis does save his life. Takes out, the team of commandos that was sent there. They said, "Okay, okay, I gotta get to the tenement and set it up." And of course, it looks like the Bruce Willis was going to help him set it up. But the terrorists blew the thing up, blew the antenna up. And of course, he helps McClane out later on, trying to look for possible where the terrorists could be. Because when the plane lands with this terrorist guy on it, he says, this drug dealer on, he says, it looks like they came out pretty close. And yes, so the plane landed, pretty much when the plane landed, they were there. Within a couple of minutes, they came in to get the guy. And so they went to this neighborhood that was near the airport, and they found where the terrorists were. And they had this big shootout. I thought it was one police sequence after the other. And of course, John McClane wins and has a great fight on the wing of the plane between John Amos first and then William Sadler after that. Before William Sadler came on the wing of the plane to fight McClane, McClane took out or released gasoline from that part of the wing and was spewing out into the runway. So when McClane lost his fight, the William Sadler character got thrown off the wing. He takes his lighter out, says "Yippy Ki, motherfucker," lights the gas. The gas line falls up into the plane. Only in the movies. Goes into the airplane. The whole airplane goes on fire and kills everybody on the plane. And of course, he went at the end. Well, that was, and of course, in the end, his wife's plane landed, and that's pretty much how. And then, of course, the last line was, "John, why does this keep happening to us?" And that's how it ended. But between then, it took 5 years for Die Hard 3 to come out, which was Die Hard with a Vengeance, which the whole movie was set in New York City. And all the annoying characters you have for the first two films, you don't have any annoying characters in the third film. You had, the only recognizable character that I saw in Die Hard 3 was Graham Greene's character. He plays another detective in John McClane's unit. We also have Samuel Jackson tagged on as another guy that Bruce Willis could work off of as almost like a psychic guy. I guess maybe because he got tired in the first two films, he didn't have a psychic. So the two of them go fighting off with Jeremy Irons, who plays a guy named Simon, who turns out to be, now spoiler, brother of the Hans Gruber character from the first movie. So it looks like, we're going to get revenge on him. But what he really wants to do is steal this gold. There was one subplot. The other subplot was he steals all this gold from the Gold Reserve in Wall Street, in the Wall Street area. And of course, the problem with Die Hard 3 was because of the fact why it took so long for Die Hard 3 to come out, because it had so many spoofs. It came out. You had Speed, which is like Die Hard on the bus. You had Die Hard And you had Under Siege, which was Die Hard on a submarine. You had Passenger 57, which was another Die Hard on a plane. You had it was Passenger 57. Then you had Under Siege 2, which was Die Hard on a train. Then you had Speed 2, which was Die Hard on a cruise. Speed 2, which was Die Hard on a cruise ship. So these other movies sort of steal those concepts. So they decided to do one with building another script. It was originally titled Simon Says, and where John McClane does everything that Simon wants him to do. And like I said, it turns out that Simon was the Hans Gruber's brother in the first film. So he does all this and he set bombs all over the place. And that's the other problem with the movie. Die Hard 3 came out exactly 1 month after the Oklahoma City bombing. Because the Oklahoma City bombing happened on April 19th, 1995. Die Hard with a Vengeance came out on May 19th, 1995. So of course, you had that problem. And of course, people who were victims of the bombing, who survived it, plus families of the people who were killed, says, "Oh, you shouldn't have released this movie," said the Fox. "You should never have released this movie." But Bruce Willis came out saying, "This movie was made a year ago. And this was the select date that came out. And that's what happens. You had this tragedy that happened. This is not Fox's fault. It's not my fault. It's just one of those things that unfortunately happened. It's just bad timing for everybody." So, when it came out, it's like everyone that through with this movie. I know some people said it was the best one in the sequels. I think Die Hard 2 was the best one in the sequels. But you did have some great, sequences of great moments. But the problem is, of course, actually the bombs were all over, and you had so many little things were going on in this movie. They bring Simon's brother, getting revenge, setting bombs off, going after the gold, and faking people out of the goals, and the east of Long Island Sound. All these little things going on, and this one went all over the place more than in the first two films. Another thing wasn't all that terrible for movies, it's just that it was, so many things going on, your head was spin. But I thought it was, a good performance that I liked that John McClane and somebody woke off of throughout the whole movie, other than the villain. And Samuel L. Jackson gave a very good performance in this, and proves that he could be, and Samuel L. Jackson could be a pretty good action star. And what he proves a few years later by being in the Star Wars movies. Anyways, that's Die Hard 3. And then 12 years later, in 2007, you had Die Hard Live Free or Die Hard, which is like the fourth movie. And this time it's going after actual terrorists. Because naturally, of course, they don't have an actual terrorist because they have to go do the Muslim terrorists. And these are 9/11 have John McClane go after Muslim terrorists. Of course, with Hollywood being so liberal, we can have a Muslim terrorist. And we know that's who attacked us. So 9/11 were Muslim terrorists. We don't want to go after them. So they decided to modernize it, quote unquote modernize it a bit, going after cyber terrorists. And that's what they did. And this guy is trying to control every computer system in the world. And Bruce McClane has to protect this one particular hacker. The other hackers who knew what was going on and could figure out how to stop it, being killed off one by one. And of course, the last one on the list was still alive, and John McClane is protecting them. And which is kind of disappointing when John McClane's daughter, I think Lucy McClane, was born in for this one. But the problem, of course, I have this one was that it was too much CGI. Number one, and number two, it took 12 years between the last movie and this one to come out. But I didn't think it was all that bad. It wasn't that great of a film, but it was entertaining enough, and also it had. I think he mentioned it was too much CGI, special effects of the action scenes too much. For me, what was big with the other films is that you didn't have all that much CGI. Well, for the first two particular films, you didn't have CGI to fall back on. In '95, when Die Hard 3 came out, it was starting to come out. Well, CGI effects were starting to come out then, but it was about to come out. For Die Hard 4, an overblown CGI stuff. I mean, you could tell CGI effects for some of the action scenes, and of course for this one wasn't that disappointing. But the first one, I didn't see it all, so I'm not even going to be talking about A Good Day to Die Hard because I haven't actually seen the film. So don't ask me about, or don't comment saying how come you didn't talk about the fifth one, because I haven't seen the fifth one. But so that's my review of the Die Hard movie series. Hope you watch this video or share it on Facebook. Because I get plenty of views. Please like it and subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching.